You there?
Anyone can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay.
What you at down school?
No, I'm at home.
Oh, okay. Everything all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Let's make sure everything is set up.
Did you take those folders out of the office?
Yeah, I did. I had them here at home.
Okay, I wanted to finish that up last week. I'm trying to make the January board meeting for the state.
It's a meeting?
That's when they vote to accept the application. They only vote every 2 months.
Okay.
So if I don't make that, I have to wait a whole nother 2 months.
I just need the budget, that's all. Everything else I've done.
I mean, just bring it to me so I can look over it. You know, I could do the budget up in no time.
Okay.
So what we gonna go over today?
I'm going to continue with the next chapter in the book.
Which is what?
Let me pull it up. So we stopped at the heart center. Mm,
What chapter is that, Dwayne?
I think that was at the second half of chapter 7. Let's see. Yeah, chapter 7, the chakra system at the heart center is where we stopped.
Oh,
Okay, I'll be right back.
all right.
All right. See if everything is working here on my end. All right, welcome everyone. Let's go ahead and start today's open discussion and various topics. Okay, let us begin by reciting the prayer for spiritual workers, and then we'll move in today's Q&A session. Prayer for spiritual workers. Almighty God, I bless all those who, because of their limitations, would smite me. Almighty God, I bless all those who, because of their weakness, would not heed me. Almighty God, I bless all those who, because of their ignorance, would defile you through me. And I ask, Almighty God, O wondrous power, that your strength may be given to me now, so that I might be fortified by this, so that I might go forward bravely into the world, and despite reception, send forth my love of thee throughout all races of man. Almighty God, give me the power and strength to rise above my karmic weakness, the deficiencies in the pattern of my evolution, so that I might evolve and become stronger, I, and even stronger in thy everlasting light. O God, thy will be done. Right. Everyone, welcome to Open Discussion and Various Topics, Class 123. I apologize for last week. I had a family emergency and was not able to host class, but everything is okay now. I hope everyone had a good few weeks, good break, and are ready with your questions. As per usual, if you're joining us on Zoom, you can use the raise hand feature to ask your questions, or you can type your questions in the chat. And if you're also joining us on YouTube, you can use the chat feature as well to post your questions. After, say, a few minutes of question and answer, we will continue on with our review of the Mystic Constitution of Man textbook. Last time we stopped at the Heart Center as we were going through chapter 7, which talks about the chakra system. I think today we'll finish up chapter 7 and hopefully if we can't complete chapter 8, then we'll begin chapter 8. which talks about the nadi system. Well, look, we might get a good ways through chapter 8, or maybe even finish it today, depending on how much time we have to devote to the reading. Do we have any questions or comments to start out today's open discussion? Or did you have any questions emailed to you, Nehemiah?
No, I didn't see any.
Yeah, I didn't see any questions either.
Mm.
All right, well, there's no questions. And let us continue on with the review of the textbook. But if you do have any questions or comments as we're going through the material, you can feel free to post them in the chat and we'll answer those for you. All right, the heart center. Picking up from last time, so chapter 7 on the chakra system. After we finish chapter 7, we move into chapter 8, which talks about the nadi system. The heart center. The heart center is the fourth major nadi nut and is called the Anahata chakra in Sanskrit terms. The Sanskrit terminology, Anahata, is said to mean the wheel of unstruck sound. This carries and releases the holy sound vibration or seed mantra YM, which is released from the bindu via the soul through this chakra. This sound represents the control of the Shakti power as mind. This chakra gives meaning to the Shakti power through the manifestation of the Nadic power that resonates here. There are 12 petals that extend from this main seed mantra of the heart chakra. These 12 petals are the 12 lines of the nada and pranic forces that help to manifest and define human consciousness. The mighty forces of this seed mantra and its 12 petals within this chakra is accompanied with 54 tattvic rays of the mighty sun to manifest the power that builds, maintains, and preserves the consciousness of the soul on several planes of existence simultaneously. These 54 tattvic rays are accompanied with 54 divas. The motion of these tattvic rays indicates the presence of the divas. A tattvic ray means a sonic vibrational mode of motion of cosmic energies that carries the will of God. In Sanskrit terminology, the divic group that accompanies the tattvic rays is called the Surya Diva group. The residing diva over the bindu of this chakra is called Kakini, and it also releases the holy sonic energy configuration of YM to further demonstrate the preservation power of this chakra. This chakra is considered to be one of the upper chakras. It's where the higher planes begin and also where the higher consciousness begins to manifest itself. When mankind purifies his nadis, he activates them to the point where he gains the ability to awaken the major chakras to the sensory perception of the lower astral and physical consciousness. The awakening of his heart chakra gives mankind power over the basic emotional expressions of the soul's astral and physical vehicles of expression. Some of the main purification qualities produced from this chakra are as follows: to gain control over hope, care, anxiety, endeavor, sense of mindness, arrogance or hypocrisy, languor, weakness or weariness of the body and mind, conceit, discrimination, covetousness, duplicity, indecision, and regret. The awakening of the heart chakra is done through the purification of the nadis. At this point of development, the man should have a good degree of mind control and a strong level of concentration. The control of man's mind gives control over his negative imagination that deposits and breeds diseased mental thoughts that develops into physical ailments. The activation of the chakras is brought about from man's ability to concentrate the power of Kundalini out of the dormant state of the 3.5 energy configuration it places itself in at the base of the spine. After being able to move the Kundalini out of a dormant state with the power of intense concentration, he then pushes it up the inner subtle core of the spinal column, Sushumna, to manifest itself as Kundalini power through each chakra, thereby activating the chakras into full consciousness. When Kundalini is fully and consciously raised through Sushumna, man obtains a highly meditative state that unleashes the power of each chakra that Kundalini is lodged in. This is not an easy task to accomplish. It takes years and maybe lifetimes to reach this true state of meditation. A true state of meditation is brought about from the ability to place the mind in a pure state of concentration where all the mental energy of the mind travels down one direction. With this concentrated level of mental energy, traveling down one direction creates a magnetic pull on all similar concentrated mental energies on several different planes of existence, pushing man to a state of contemplation. This state of contemplation is where man begins to register the higher frequencies of mind substance and cosmic energies that move in and out the major chakras along the spine. This ability of contemplation allows mankind to develop clear thinking, clear vision, clear hearing, clear smelling, clear touching, etc. Deep contemplation is possible through the purification of the nadis and man's ability of intense prolonged concentration, which brings about many psychic visions and psychic powers that lead to a dual consciousness where man is aware of several worlds of existence in a controlled manner. The true activation of this chakra and any chakra happens under a state of deep meditation where the dormant power of Kundalini is fully activated and pushed up the spine to activate each major chakra along the spine. The activation of the heart chakra brings mankind the true power over this thing called love energy, which is the universal power of preservation that keeps creation in manifestation. The heart chakra also gives mankind the knowledge over the great synchronizing power of sound that pushes prana into perpetuated motion. This sound at the heart chakra is where cosmic energies are molded into gross physical manifestation to build and sustain life on the subtle planes and physical plane of existence. As stated in this book in chapter 4, The Power of Mantra, we can actually say that there is a network or matrix of sound that extends from the physical heart in a series of sound vibrations that pumps the oxygenated red blood cells throughout the body while pulling the depleted oxygenated blood cells into the lungs to be oxygenated again. This initial power of sound consciousness continues its journey by modifying itself from the Pasyanti sound located at the solar plexus center into the heart center, Anahata chakra, giving inner meaning to its movement. It is here where the naming of this Sabda power occurs. It is here where this sound power manifests its ability to mold mind and cosmic energies into shapes by forming the subtle bodies of man. This wave of consciousness can be easily seen in the physical bodies of man. We can actually say that there is a network or matrix of sound that extends from the physical heart in a series of sound vibrations that pumps the oxygenated red blood cells throughout the body while pulling the depleted oxygenated blood cells into the lungs to be oxygenated again. Before this Madhyama sound appears, there is no outer form or object. It is here where the ancient writings display the vowels of the Sanskrit alphabet. It gives the keys, root sounds to all mantras. It is the great manipulating factor for all aspects of Shakti mind and Shakti prana. It's the great ingredients for the Sanskrit powers that build vehicles of life and sustain them. The heart chakra is the vortex center that radiates the preservational power of love energy that sustains all things within creation. Next, the throat center. And again, everyone, if you have any questions at all, you can feel free to post them in the chat. And even though I'm reading through the text, we'll answer those questions for you. The throat center is the fifth major nadi knot and is called Vishuddhi chakra in the Sanskrit terminology, which means the wheel of purity. It is the vortex center of purification. This chakra is the final resting place for the fourth aspect of sound, Vaikari sound, that gives mankind the ability to manifest consciousness on the physical and subtle planes of existence simultaneously. This is a chakra that man must operate from in order to break the ring past knot force field that bounds mankind here on earth. When mankind can fully raise the power of Kundalini consciously to the Vishuddhi chakra and fully activate and open this chakra, then it is said that he can exit his physical body with the etheric body in full consciousness and this planet and any other in this solar system for a specific time. Such is the power of the throat chakra. This chakra is made up of several sonic forces as well. It has the seed mantra, bija, H-A-M, that produces 16 petals or letters, sound bits, and 72 tattvic rays, which are the 72 modes of motion. These modes of motion configure themselves in a manner that manifests the various qualities of purification, stuti. These 72 tattvic rays are made up from the quality of the third Mahabindu force, the moon. The reflective energy rays of the mighty sun being conditioned by moon and its loyal lunar divas help to shape the mental realms of earth. The Sanskrit name for this lunar divas is called Chandra Diva group. These radiant moon rays collected by the mighty sun and reflected toward Mother Earth's dark side to assist in manipulating the sonic and cosmic energies that permeates the earth 365 days a year. This chakra has the Diva Shakini that resides over the Bindu of this chakra, that releases the holy sound of HAM, and with it comes 16 petals, which are the seed mantras. Some of the main purification qualities produced from this chakra are as follows: to gain control over faith, contentment, anger, affection, sense of error, sorrow, grief, dejection, purity, detachment, agitation, appetite, and desire. These sacred sound vibrations that flow through this chakra, when activated properly, calibrates the chakra to release cosmic energies in a manner that will allow divas to manipulate it by purifying negative aspects that have built up and release the power of Pingala and Ida within the Sushumna under the control of the mighty Kundalini Diva. The Christ Center. The Christ Center, Ajna Chakra, is the sixth major nadi knot. The ancient Sanskrit word Ajna means command. Place chakra after the word and you have a short meaning of command wheel. This chakra is located between the eyebrows within the etheric structure. This chakra is where the spinal column is terminated. It's also where the three nadic energy flows called Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna nadis terminate and merge back as one consciousness. The first level of equilibrium of the Shakti power was at the base of the spine, and the second equilibrium level of Shakti along the spinal column is the Christ chakra. The Bindu energy expressed here is the highest level of static Shakti power being expressed along the spine column. The deep, pure meditation at this level takes the adept to a level of mastership. This chakra is called the Guru chakra. The activation and opening of this chakra is brought about by the full conscious rays of the power of Kundalini entering a deep state of meditation. The man that fully taps into this power by raising the Kundalini to the Christ center and fully activating it destroys all negative karma of his past life and transcends all the positive karma of the present lives. This Christ chakra is made up of bija sound of OM that produces two petals or letters. These two extend themselves as nadis. This chakra has 64 tattvic rays, which are 64 sonic modes of motion, where movement patterns of the cosmic energies that travel through the chakra and nadis leave this chakra. The motion of prana is brought about by the nada sound aspect of prana shakti. Now, the nada aspect of prana is always accompanied with divic presence. In fact, all movement is governed by the law of karma, which is the divas in action. So if you have 64 tattvic rays, then you also have 64 divas that are responsible for each tattvic ray. The tattvic ray of this chakra is conditioned by the third Mahabindu force of the etheric body, the moon. These rays collect from the mighty sun and reflect off the moon toward the Mother Earth's dark side to assist in manifesting the mental power necessary for building and maintaining the mental astral planes of existence. The tattvic rays are the sonic modes of motion that act as harmonic signals to stabilize subtle and gross manifestation within the human structure. Hakini, a divic entity, that resides over the Bindu within this chakra that releases bija, the holy sound or seed mantra of OM, and with it becomes the bija's additional seed mantras called petals, numbering 2 petals, which bring an end to the flow of cosmic energies called Ida and Pingala. Right? And that completes chapter 7. Do we have any questions? Or is there anything you'd like to add, Nehemiah?
No, but I answer any questions and whatnot.
All right. Well, there's no question. Let's continue with chapter 8. Chapter 8, the Nadi system, a system of sound vibrations that holds consciousness in place. Introduction. The soul pulls down a flow of cosmic energy, Shakti, and connects a piece of its conscious awareness to it and pushes it down through the field of Sushumna with tremendous karmic pressures upon it. This Shakti power intermingles with the soul's consciousness and moves from the Sahasrara chakra, crown center, to the Muladhara chakra, base chakra, under direct karmic pressures. This movement of consciousness gains experience as it falls through Sushumna from one realm of consciousness, major chakra, to the next, with each realm of consciousness expressing a whole world of existence. As this Shakti consciousness of the soul falls from the crown center to the lower chakras, it experiences the infinite worlds of each chakra. The Shakti consciousness of the soul experiences the alternate celestial sounds of the Absolute, manifesting itself through each level or realm of the chakras. This wave of the Shakti consciousness bound by the will of the soul implants these experiences within the configuration of the Shakti consciousness of the soul, and the soul moves on with the potential of the power it has experienced. Not expressing the potential of this, the Shakti consciousness of the soul moves down within the field of the Brahmic line of force, Sushumna, following the original will of the soul. With each chakra that is lower than the crown chakra, a greater pressure of karma is experienced by Shakti consciousness of the soul as it pushes downward through Sushumna. When it reaches the Muladhara chakra realm of existence, it moves into a state of 3.5 energy, Shakti configuration, dictated by karmic pressures upon it. The karmic pressures exerted here on the soul's Shakti consciousness pushes this expression of consciousness into a dormant state of expressed power called Kundalini. Kundalini and the Nadis. The Kundalini is the 3.5 energy configuration, Shakti configuration, which is a part of the soul's Shakti consciousness, placed in a dormant state of Kundalini in order to bring about a basic state of conscious existence. This 3.5 energy configuration of Kundalini consciousness positions itself in the right karmic position and under the right karmic pressure, where it blocks the passageway to Sushumna, not allowing the basic consciousness to enter back into this pure Brahmic line of Sushumna without being in a pure and right state of karmic awareness. This Kundalini configuration of consciousness brings about the state of not whole Shakti power from a state of whole Shakti, which in turn brings into being a flux of power. This flux of power is a separation of the Shakti power that flows in different directions. And a different vibrational state is known as the nadis. Description of the nadis. The nadi system is usually seen as man's subtle nervous system, or the etheric nervous system, that is the subtler nerve ganglia behind the physical nervous system that processes intelligent stimuli throughout the nervous system. This includes the brain, the spinal column, the nerve ganglia, and the nerve ganglia. In this presentation, I hope to present a fuller meaning of this nadi system and show the mystic science behind the nadi system. Earlier, we talked about the spirit and soul manipulating this power called Shiva and Shakti with the power of nada, sonic vibrations. This power is a neutral flow that manifests itself as a sonic vibration that has the ability to manipulate positive prana, positive power, Shiva, and the negative power, Shakti. This brings about the unique ability to create or modify this force called cosmic energy or prana. When the soul found itself manifested as basic consciousness within the dormant power of Kundalini, lodged in the base chakra, it moved out in two directions as the flow of cosmic energies. It is then propelled by sonic vibrations that are released from the dormant state of Kundalini. One energy flow of consciousness moves forward as vital energies, and the other energy flow of consciousness move forward as mental energies. The vital flow of energies is known as Pingala nadis, and the mental flow of energies is known as Ida nadis. These nadis are like thin sonic vibrational lines of force that help to bring consciousness into being on several levels of existence. The nadis move from the base chakra to every other major chakra along the spinal column, manifesting an aspect of base consciousness on every level. On its way up, it created thousands of geometrical angles, forming what is like a nadi matrix. And within the nadis are various frequencies of cosmic energies, or pranas. The rotational movement of the nadis seems to have created various frequencies of energy patterns. These energy patterns assist the soul in defining its points of consciousness, called nadi knots or chakras. These nadi knots are the focal points that transform and transmute cosmic energies into thousands of aspects of mental thought forms and various frequencies of pranic forms. The nadi knots bring about a tremendous pressure on the universal supply of prana and the universal mind substance that surrounds us. These nadi knots draw the pranas within the nadi system, and then these nadis serve to slow down the pranas and mind substance to bring about a grosser manifestation of these energies. There are three major celestial forces of cosmic energies that has an influence on the nadi knots, or chakras, when producing etheric, mental, and astral bodies, which are called Rudra, Vishnu, and Brahma in Sanskrit terms. These modifications of the cosmic energies come from the earth, Rudra, sun, Vishnu, and moon, Brahma. In the ancient tantric teachings translated by Sir Arthur Avalon in his book The Serpent Power, and Ramaprasad's book Nature's Finer Forces, describes the modification of tattvas as energy of modes of motion. They further describe these tattvas as tattvic rays that radiate modes of motion that have been modified by the sun, moon, and earth. The modification of these cosmic energies created certain signature patterns that brought about tremendous pressures on the cosmic energies and mind substance within the nadi matrices created by the nadi system. These pressures created by the nadi knots and nadi system slowed down the cosmic energies to allow the manifestation of the soul's various tools of expression in order to manage its involutional journey and evolutional journey. The following is a brief explanation of the nadi system as described from the mystic point of view. The nadi system is a series of thin sonic tube-like vibrations that surrounds the manifested points of man's soul. These thin tubes act like sonic vibrations that make thousands of geometric patterns around these manifested points of the soul, which creates a magnetic web that draws on the all-pervasive cosmic energies and the universal mind substance that brings these mighty two forces into gross manifestation. The soul skillfully designed this nadi system to build the house of this God presence that manifests within it, behind it, through it, and around it. Using the directives of spirit, the soul builds the first temple of God and brings into manifestation the consciousness of the soul. The nadis and tattvic rays. These nadis are thin lines of force created by the soul with sacred sonic vibrations that derived from the creative word within all creation. Because the nadi system is a divine sonic vibration, its various frequency of sound is designed with sonic signatures to bring into being the necessary tools of expression into manifestation for the soul. These sonic signatures can be described as karmic pressures that dictate the will of the Absolute, God. This is known as the 36 tattvas, or modification principles, which are sonic frequencies of the creative word that holds man in manifestation. The tattvas are invisible forces that the soul uses to direct, shape, and form the nadi system, to aid the soul in the journey through involution to evolution. These tattvic rays are described as 360 tattvic rays that are radiated from the sonic vibrations issued by solar logos, the mighty sun, 365 days a year. These 360 rays illuminate the earth in the form of fire, sun, and moon. These 360 rays are subdivided within the subtle bodies of man as follows. There are 118 tattvic fire rays, Agni, within the 2 lower major chakras, or nadi nuts, 106 tattvic sun rays, Surya, within the 3rd and 4th chakras, or nadi nuts, and 136 tattvic moon rays, Chandra, within the 5th and 6th chakras, or nadi nuts. When the pressures exerted from tattvic forces being placed on the nadis to define the energies of the chakras, nadi nuts, these pressures from the tattvas that direct, shape, and form the nadi system also create what is called a group of tattvic rays. And there are a group of tattvic rays within each nadi nut. These tattvic rays are subtle cosmic sensitive material with tremendous potential to shape, mold, and produce various qualities of cosmic energies, etheric matter, and gross matter. Each chakra located on the spinal column has a definite number of tattvic rays within its lotus that radiates various qualities that produce a tremendous power. The 6 chakras share 360 tattvic rays divided in an unequal number along the spinal vertebrae. The base of the spine has 56 tattvic rays. This group is called Bhuta, which means that which can become. The Bhuta is cosmic particles that has the potential of all the other 5 tattvic ray groups within chakras. The sex center has 62 tattvic rays. This is named Agni, which represents the power of fire. The solar plexus center has 52 tattvic rays. This group is named Apas, which represents the power of water. The heart center has 54 tattvic rays. This group is named Vayu, which represents the power of air. The throat center has 72 tattvic rays. This group is named Akasa, which represents the power of ether. The Christ center has 64 tattvic rays. This group is named Manas, which represents the power of mind. If you are able to follow the line of this Shakti power thus far, you can see the tremendous subtle resources of cosmic energies, mind substance, and tattvic matter available for the soul for it to contain and manage throughout the many levels of conscious states created by the involution and manifested pure consciousness of the soul. The nadis being that direct result of the Shakti released from the unmanifested portion of soul, Shiva, with Shakti unmanifested. The nadis have this tremendous creative cosmic power flowing through it. And as the soul moves to involve itself and slow down this cosmic creative power, it defines these nadi nuts to redirect this cosmic energy and activate the tattvic matter that has been stored in the nadi nuts as cosmic karmic signatures and specifications for holding manifestation in place. The nadi nuts chakras are vortex centers of tremendous cosmic energies, mind substance, and tattvic rays. Vibrational modification rays from these solar logas with cosmic specifications that is used by the soul to manipulate, build, and sustain subtle and gross manifestation. As stated in the last paragraph, each chakra has a specific number of tattvic rays, which is used and act as a balancing mechanism for the solar logas connection to human existence. the sonic vibration, and nadis. Before going on, let me introduce one more point that may help to connect the dots to the understanding of this ancient metaphysical science. The power of Shakti is activated by the Absolute, God, releasing a cosmic vibration, cosmic sound, which brings about perpetual motion. This continued motion serves to subdivide the Shakti power through an involutional process over and over again until it reaches a point of equilibrium, the point of embodied consciousness. This equilibrium comes about when the Shakti power coils itself back around the Shiva at the base of the spine. The point of evolution begins when it starts to uncoil itself and moves back toward the Absolute as Shiva and Shakti in a state of complete equilibrium. This is an evolutional process, which also is activated by this cosmic vibration and is kept in manifestation by perpetual motion. The motion created in the evolutional process is also brought about by a sonic vibration being released by the celestial being within the solar systems, galaxies, etc. Within the nadi system, there are three types of nadis: the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushumna nadi. There are 14 named nadis, and the above mentioned nadis are the chief major nadis that sets and defines the types of nadis. The Ida nadis are the negative vibrational force within the nadis, and the Pingala nadis are the positive vibrational force within the nadis. And the Sushumna nadi is the neutral vibrational force within the nadi system, where both Ida and Pingala forces travel together. These three types of nadis create a web system that the nadis develop what is called nadi knots, which are points of consciousness that has a magnetic effect on the environment, thereby allowing the soul to operate on several levels of consciousness or states of existence at one and the same time, as it makes its journey through involution to evolution. I will go in detail later in this book on the nature and function of the nadis. The nadis and the Granthi knots. The 6 chakras are divided into 3 groups, which are called Granthi knots. The 3 Granthis are knots created with the chakras within the nadi system that are designed to further help block and slow down the subtle cosmic energies that flow freely through the nadic system. The first Granthi knot is the Rudra Granthi. It is made up of the base of the spine and the sex center along the Sushumna nadi. Like the Granthi knot, it's designed to help block and slow down the free flow of cosmic energies within man's various subtle and physical bodies. The second Granthi knot is the Vishnu Granthi. It is made up of the solar plexus center and the heart center along the Sushumna nadi. The third Granthi knot is the Brahma Granthi, which is made up of the throat center and the Christ center along the Sushumna nadi. It is said that when the yogi is capable of untangling these knots, he moves from the realms of mortals to immortals. Right. And table 15, the 7 major chakras and Granthi knot relationships. And number 1 and number 2, which are the base of the spine and sex center, or Muladhara and Svadhisthana chakras, which belong to the Rudra Granthi. The tattva for the Muladhara is Bhuta. It has 56 tattvic rays, and its group name is fire, or Agni Kanda. And the sex center, Svadhisthana, its tattva name is Agni, 62 tattvic rays. This also belongs to the Agni Kanda. Number 3 and 4, the solar plexus and heart center belong to the Vishnu Granthi, or the Manipura and Anahata. The Manipura tattva is Apas. It has 52 tattvic rays, and its group name is Sun. And the Anahata, or heart center, name of this tattva is Vayu. 54 tattvic rays, group name is Surya. Those two belong to the Vishnu Granthi. And the throat center, Vishuddha. His tattva is Akasa. And number of tattvic rays, 72. And the group names the moon, or Chandra, as well as the Christ center, the Ajna. Name of his tattva is Manas. It has 64 tattvic rays, and those two belong to the Brahma Granthi. A total of 360 tattvic rays. And the 14 major nadis. Number 1, Sushumna, located in the central area of the spinal cord, a tiny hollow canal within the spinal cord that extends from the base of the spine up to the crown chakra. In this Sushumna nadi, the Ida and Pingala nadi forces travel together as one energy in one direction. Number 2, Ida, located on the left sympathetic chain, stretching from under the left nostril to below the left kidney to form in the form of a bent bow. This is the negative force of nadis, which represents the female force within the nadis. Pingala, located on the corresponding chain on the right side. This is the positive force of nadis, which represents the male force within the nadis. Kuhu, the pubic nerve of the sacred or solar plexus to the left of the spinal column, sacral plexus. Number 5, Ganhari, located on the back of the left sympathetic chain, supposed to stretch from below the left eye to the left leg. Number 6, Hasti Jiva, Hasti Jiva, located on the front of the left sympathetic chain, stretching from below the corner of the left eye to the great toe of the left foot on the same supposition as before. Number 7, Sarasvati, located on the right of Sushumna, stretching up to the tongue. Number 8, Pusa, located at the back of the right sympathetic chain, stretching from the corner of the right eye to the abdomen. Number 9, Payasvini, located between the Pusa and Sarasvati, auricular branch of the cervical plexus on the left. Number 10, Sankhini, located between Gandhari and the Sarasvati, auricular branch of the cervical plexus on the left. Number 11, Yasasvini, located in the front of the right sympathetic chain, stretching from the right thumb to the left leg. Number 12, Varuna, located at the nerves of the sacral plexus between Kuhu and Yasasvini, ramifying over the lower trunks and limbs. Number 13, Visvodhara, located at the nerves of the lumbar plexus between Kuhu and Hastijiva, ramifying over the lower trunk and limbs. And number 14, Alambusa, located at the coxal nerves proceeding from the sacral vertebrae to the urogenital organs. The human body is a complex vehicle that the soul has devised in order to work on a gross manifested state of consciousness. Behind this gross human body are tremendous subtle forces that create the opportunity to allow this gross manifestation to stay in existence. This can be called the chakra system of the human body. Right, table 16, chakra system of the human body. At the base of the spine, Muladhara, there's 4 petals. Its tattva is Bu, 56 tattvic rays. Reflexive qualities and group name is fire. And its conversion point is the Ruja Kranti. The sex center is Svadhisthana, 6 petals. Tattva is Agni, 62 tattvic rays. Its group name is Agni Kanda. It also belongs to the Rudra Kranti, conversion point. Next, number 3, solar plexus Manipura, has 10 petals. Its tattva is Apas, 52 tattvic rays. And its group name is Sun, and it belongs to the Vishnu Kranti conversion point. Next is the heart center, Anahata, 12 petals. Its tattva is Vayu. 54 tattvic rays. Its group name is Surya and also belongs to the Vishnu Kranti. Next is the throat center, Vishuddha. 16 petals. Its tattva is Akasa. Its tattvic ray is 72. Its group name is the moon, and its conversion point is the Brahma Granti. And then we have the Christ center, Ajna, has 2 petals. Its tattva is Manas. Its tattvic rays, it contains 64. It belongs to the group name of Chandra, and it also belongs to the Brahma Granti. The last is the crown center of the Sahasrara chakra. Consciousness. The manifestation of consciousness is brought about through the intersection of Pingala and Ida nadis. The chakras are the vortex centers where Pingala and Ida nadis intersect and manifest various levels of consciousness. This consciousness operates on all levels, and chakras represent the primary realms of existence it's operating from. As stated earlier in the book, the soul configures the Shakti power into the Kundalini consciousness that blocks the door to Sushumna, which manifests the basic flow of Shakti power that's separated in 2 parts called Pingala and Ida. Kundalini then becomes the instrument that the soul works through. In its Kundalini dormant state of consciousness, it sings a song that manifests basic consciousness to all levels of existence. This is done by Kundalini sending a sound vibration up through the chakra system that creates the right Shakti configuration that manifests the vehicles of expression that the soul can work through in order to experience basic mental, subtle, and astral consciousness, and eventually gross physical consciousness. These sound vibrations leave the dormant state of Kundalini and modify itself at the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, and finally at the throat chakra, where the total power to manifest basic consciousness is brought about by the 4th aspect of sound. The Ida nadis, mental powers, and Pingala nadis, vital powers, intersect at and through the chakras. It is the thing that turns on the switch that allows consciousness to manifest on any level of existence. All right. And that concludes chapter 8. Do you have any questions or comments?
On that last chart you looked at, you had, go back to the last chart.
Okay, was that the? I think I went back too far. Let me see.
Yeah, it was second to the last page.
Table 16.
Yeah, on that last chart, it's 1,000 petals on the crown chakra. And then under the name of Tavis is at the crown chakra is Tavis because it's the manipulator of all of everything. You move from a mana stage to a Tavis stage because the ascendant, an ascendant at that level, a master is an ascendant master.
Mm-hmm.
And they can manipulate whole worlds if they chose to. And then the next one is all Tavis.
It's 360 or it's all?
It's just all because it's more than 360.
Right.
It's just 360 that manipulate this earth. Or you might want to say infinite. Dr. George King said that they are, how did he say it? He said they are, at that point, they are cosmic. I think he said something like, I can't remember, cosmic creators or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's in his lectures on the 9 freedoms. He went into it deep. And then on the other one, I think when we talked about the heart chakra. It's the Tavis right there. I'm gonna just say. And then we go back to the heart chakras. It's I mean to the heart chakra.
That passage?
Yeah. To the last section of that. It's actually, it displays the consonants.
The vowels and consonants, or just the consonants?
The consonants. I think it's just the consonants. And the throat chakra displays the vowels. You can do a check afterwards, but I think that's the way it is.
This is. There's a consonants, that's the heart sense, and the throat.
I think, yeah. I think it's the key consonants. I think that's what it is. I can't remember exactly. Do you have the, we could pull up the Serpent Power book. I think they go into it.
Let me see if I have that electronically.
It's on the web.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast you can pull it down.
Speaking of web, I'm having. It looks like the live stream cut out. So if you're watching on YouTube, could you let me know in the chat if you can still see and hear everything that's happening right now?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. On my end, it keeps cutting out. I don't know why. Okay. Power. Oh, this is gonna take a while.
Huh?
I don't think I have a. Let me see if I have a Word version. The PDF version is just images, so it'll take it a while to
To load up.
or to search through it. So let me see if I can find a Word version.
Yeah, I got it. It's the throat center. It's the valves.
Okay. So the heart center is the consonants and throat center is the vowels.
Yeah, the heart center is the key consonants because it's the unspoke. It's when everything comes together and meaning is brought to everything, and then from there, life is breathed is brought about through the vowels, and then from there, the control center comes.
Okay. All right. Do we have any other questions or Bernard, did he answer that question? Did he answer your question?
Yeah, he answered it.
Okay. All right. Well, if there are no further questions or comments,
Like there's a question on the thing.
you see a question on YouTube? Yes.
Are we supposed to be able to control or do anything with the rays? The rays, the Tabic rays make up your existence. So you manipulate the Tabic rays every day. You would not have an atmosphere without the Tabic rays. You would not have your mental bodies, your astral bodies, etheric bodies, or physical bodies without the Tabic rays. So the yoga system is given in order to mold and shape the rays into useful energy. So that the word yoga means union with God. How do you make union with God? Is by using the various yoga systems in order to make all correct actions. So you have essentially, we've been given 12 major yogas throughout the centuries in order to help us discipline our mind and body, or bodies. So you can go back to our earlier lessons and you'll see where we go deeply into that.
Okay.
I never gave you the updated version of this, huh?
Uh,
I mean, we could stop here and I email you the updated version for next week.
yeah, I have two versions, so I thought this was the updated one.
No, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it,
But no, it stops here at chapter 9, right? Or there's sections that are not.
I give it to you next week. Because I go into the, with this, you have to, I relate it back to, let me see. Go into the layers of Shushana.
Uh-huh.
go into the layers of Shoshana, because you have to, in order to describe the etheric body properly, you have to go into, because the etheric body is made up of the upper chakras. So you go into, so you have to go talk about the layers of the Shushana and the chakras themselves, and have to show the difference. A lot of people make a mistake and go and talk about the astral body like the etheric body, and it's two different things.
The etheric body starts at the heart center, correct?
Right. It's made up from material from the heart center up, and the astral body is made up from material from the solar plexus and down. I think only a few people really, a few masters that I've seen that actually taught it, actually got it right. And it makes sense too when you look at it and look at the science behind it.
Or basic anatomy.
Yeah, the basic anatomy, yeah.
Nice. Do we have any more questions?
Roll through, let me see what you have.
For this one, chapter 9, the text stops.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
much more. I got much more.
Okay. All right. Oh, there's no more questions and comments. Let's close out today's session. Let's close out today's session with reciting the New Lord's Prayer. New Lord's Prayer. O divine and wondrous Spirit, O everlasting Lord of hosts, send forth now through me thy great and lasting power. Allow me, Almighty God, the lasting privilege of radiating to all the world thy great love, so that those who suffer may be given the power and energy to rise above their weaknesses. Almighty God, in great humility do I ask you to send forth your power, to give to me this great lasting privilege of being a channel, so that my suffering brothers may be helped and guided and healed and lifted into thy light, so that they who know not may look up, and in doing so receive through their higher selves your divine counsel. Almighty God, this day have you granted me a divine privilege. I ask you now to give to me the strength, so that never again will I turn from my inner vision of you. O great peace, great peace, great peace. In praise of your greatness, O God, doth my soul sing. Grant it energy to sing on forever and forever. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for your attendance and participation. Do remember that we are still continuing reviewing the earlier lectures in the International Mystic Knowledge Center video library. So if you go back on the YouTube channel, click on playlists and go back. We're still looking at Metaphysics 101. And I think we'll finish out the year with reading up a couple more chapters in the textbook, Mystic Constitution of Man. And then we'll either continue on with this or start something else in the new year. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.